Paige, and today's video is going to be a full face of influencer brand makeup. I am so excited for this video for two main reasons. The first being that I get to use products from the brands of some of my favorite influencers, and the second being that this is an official announcement for my restock of my collaboration with Blinged brushes. I am so excited that the day is finally almost here. My collection restocks tomorrow, Friday, June 25th. At 12 p.m. Eastern, so make sure you guys set your calendars and alarms. Set your calendars, what does that even mean? Set your alarms so that you guys are ready for the restock. This has been a long-awaited moment for me and you guys, and I'm just so unbelievably thankful and grateful that I'm even in this situation. I will have all of the information regarding the brushes and the restock in the description box of this video, but I did just want to touch on a couple of key points really quick. The first being that, of course, you can use code PAIGE for 10% off, as always. The second being that my collection, just like all of the other collections that Bling Brushes has, is vegan and cruelty-free. Bling Brushes also offers free shipping on orders of $55 or more, and they offer Afterpay. So just wanted to get those key points out there for you guys. And of course, I will be using my brushes today along with my sponge trio, which this will also be available tomorrow at the restock. The brushes will be available for individual purchase tomorrow, but we also have sets and bundles, which will help you save a little extra money, especially when you use code PAIGE. So we have the entire set in a bundle. We have a face set bundle, an eye set bundle, and then there's also a bundle with the entire brush set and the sponges, which is the best deal. So yeah, like I said, all that information will be down below in the description box. Let's go ahead and put these brushes to use. If you guys are new to my channel, don't forget to subscribe and give this video a thumbs up if you enjoy, and let's go ahead and get started. We are going to start with the sponge trio, which includes 3 sponges, obviously. We have the teardrop, the diamond, and the flat side sponge. I personally love all 3. I use them all pretty much interchangeably, but for today's video, let's go ahead and use the diamond sponge. I'm gonna have to open this setup because my sponges are a complete disaster right now. I have so many brushes and sponges to clean, it's not even funny. I'm gonna go ahead and wet my sponge and I will be right back. Okay, so for primer, I am going in with the One Size Secure the Blur Makeup Magnet Primer. This is from One Size, which is Patrick Starr's brand. So this is the first influencer brand product that we are going in with today. I've actually been really enjoying this recently. I even used it in a video, like maybe my last video, I don't even know, where Instagram picked my makeup, and this is a really nice blurring primer that also hydrates the skin, and it feels so good. It's not slippery, it's not oily, but it definitely does give me a little bit of blurring effect while hydrating my skin, which are 2 of the most important things when it comes to a primer, in my opinion. Now, when it comes to foundation and concealer, things get a little bit tricky because I don't have an official foundation or concealer from an influencer brand as far as like YouTuber or social media person, but I do have the Fenty Beauty foundation and concealer, which Fenty is Rihanna's brand. Rihanna is a celebrity, and therefore she kind of is an influencer in a way. So I'm going to be using the Fenty Beauty Pro Filter Hydrating Long Wear Foundation and the Pro Filter Instant Retouch Concealer. It's been a while since I've used this, so hopefully the shade is okay. I have it on the back of my hand here. It looks like it's gonna be fine. So I'm gonna use the flat side of the diamond sponge and just use that to apply the foundation to my skin. I did not realize how full coverage this foundation is. Oh my gosh. As far as shade goes, it actually looks pretty good. It might be like a pinch darker than my natural skin tone, but this is in the shade 230. Very glowy, very hydrating, very full coverage. So far, I am loving that. I recall loving it. It's literally been months though since I've used that. And then for concealer, I am going in with the Pro Filter Concealer in the shade 185. It's also been a while since I've used this concealer, and then again just going in with the flat side of my sponge to blend this out. I do like to go in with the angled part, which I'll show you in a second, to blend out my under eye concealer. So I will take like one of these small edges here or even one of these edges here to blend out my under eye concealer, because it really helps get right in those creases that are harder to reach with like a larger surface. So that's part of why I love this sponge so much, because of all of the angles, and it's not like it leaves lines on your face when you're blending out your foundation or concealer. It just really helps you get into all the little itty bitty areas that are kind of harder to reach normally. So far so good. Now we're gonna go in with powder, and I have a couple of powder options here. All of them are from Jaclyn Cosmetics. This is her Prep and Set collection. So here I have the under eye powder in the shade Brightening Pink. I'm gonna take some of that powder and take the longer edge here up to the point and dip that into the powder. And then this helps place my under eye powder right where I want it. Right in this under eye area. I kind of start here and then turn the sponge upward, and then it completely covers my under eye area in one go. So I'm only going to use the loose powder for my under eye area. I'm going to go into her palette. This is the Brightening and Setting palette, and I'm going to use this to set the rest of my face. I've found that this is the best way for me to use these products with oilier skin. When I first tried these products out, they weren't my favorite actually, but the more I've used them, the more I've learned like how to make it work with my skin. I think these would be fantastic, like pretty much anyway with someone with dry skin, but for me it was just a little bit harder for me to get the products to work the way I wanted them to. So this here is the F22. This is a small powder brush. I love using this to dust off my bake. I also like using it to set my T-zone if I'm using a pressed powder. So that's what I'm doing today. I'm gonna go into this shade right here, which is called Almond, I think. I'm pretty sure it's Almond. And I'm just going to set my T-zone, which is where I get the most oily. So right through here. Then I'm gonna take that same brush and dust off the excess under eye setting powder. Then taking my large powder brush, this is the F21, I'm gonna take that same shade from the palette and just dust over the rest of my skin, because for me personally, I need to set my entire face. So I like going in with two different powder brushes, one smaller one to pack the product on a little bit more in my T-zone, and then a larger one just to kind of dust over the rest of my skin, just to make sure everything is set and good to go for the rest of the day. For bronzer, I'm going in with the F23. This is a multi-purpose brush. You can use it for whatever you want. You could do bronzer, contour, blush, setting powder, highlighter, whatever you feel like. I just personally like to use this with bronzer because of the fact that it's narrower this way and then it kind of fans out to be wider this way. So I find that it's easy to get right up in here, bronze up the perimeter of my face, kind of hollow out my cheekbones a little bit. I don't really contour and bronze. I just do a good bronze that kind of contours at the same time, if that makes sense. So for bronzer, I'm going in with the Jaclyn Cosmetics Blush and Bronzer Duo. This is my favorite one. This is in the shade Pink Me Up and Oh Honey. If I'm not mistaken, I think that these should be in stock. She just restocked them when she released her Bougie Rouge collection, so hopefully the shade is still in stock. If it is, I highly recommend it. So I'm just gonna take the F23 and I'm gonna coat the brush with the bronzer. I will even take the brush and tap onto the back of my hand like this to make sure that the brush is evenly coated with the bronzer before I go onto my face with the product. So I'm just gonna take this brush and start with the cheekbones. I like to start with this area first, so I'll do this side, and then I kind of connect everything by blending the bronzer onto my forehead. I also like to take a touch of bronzer and just kind of put that on my nose just to complete the bronzer look. I don't know, sometimes I feel like it looks a little bit weird when the center of my face is so bright. So I love this blush and bronzer duo. I'm only using the bronzer today because for blush, we are going in with this palette here from Lunar Beauty. This is the Moon Prism blush palette. This is Manny Mua's brand. By the way, I will have all of the products that I'm using linked down below as well, along with the channels for everybody. So I'll have like Manny, Laura, Jaclyn, everybody linked down below as well. Anyway, so here is his Moon Prism blush palette. I love this palette. It was really hard for me to pick what blush to use because I wanted to use this, but I also wanted to use products from the Bougie Rouge collection from Jaclyn Cosmetics, but I already have a lot of other Jaclyn Cosmetics products, so I decided to go in with this one. So for blush, I think I'm gonna go in with the shade Stargaze, which is the shade here. This is so beautiful. And to apply that, I love using my F24, which is an angled brush. I always use an angled brush to apply my blush, but I know a lot of people like to use angled brushes for bronzer and contour as well. It's just personal preference. So I'm gonna go into Stargaze, which is kind of like a pinky peach color. It's definitely warm toned, but it still has a really pretty pink base to it. Again, just kind of tapping into the product and then tapping on the back of my hand to make sure the brush is evenly coated, and then applying it to my face. I've been wearing my blush I've been wearing my blush like up higher on my cheek recently. It's actually been a few months now, and I really like the way that it looks. I don't know, I feel like it just helps lift the face. This is like a TikTok trend apparently, but this is how I remember my mom wearing her blush. Like when I was a little kid, I always recall it being like almost like in a line, like up high on her cheeks as opposed to like the apples of your cheeks in a circle. So I don't think it's a new technique by any means, but it's newer to me. I love blush so much, and every time I wear it I always feel like I go overboard, but usually by the time the rest of my makeup is done, we're looking okay. So you just have to trust the process. Now we're gonna go in with brows, and I actually don't have brow products from an influencer brand. I don't have any, and I couldn't think of any. I think One Size just came out with some brow products, but I don't have those. So I'm gonna have to stick to my Kosas Brow Duo. But first, we're gonna go in with the spoolie from my collaboration. I love spoolies. I use spoolies every single day. Even when I don't do my makeup, I have to use a spoolie to comb through these crazy brows, because it's almost like they're unmanageable. But as long as I have a spoolie, I'm okay. So I keep one of these everywhere. I keep one in my purse, which is actually really convenient that it's just a one-sided brush, so you can stick it into a cup without worrying about bending one side or the other. You also don't have to worry about getting like brow pencil or brow powder or whatever in your purse. So I just take this and throw it in my purse, and I don't have to worry about any product spilling or anything like that. Very convenient. I have them everywhere. I have one in my bathroom. I have several at my makeup station. I have one to comb through my brows. I have one to apply like brow soaps. I love spoolies, so definitely check out the spoolie if you have crazy brows like me. We are back. The brows are done. We are zoomed in, and it is time to move on to eyeshadow. For eyeshadow, I'm gonna use a palette that I haven't used in a really long time. This is the Tati Beauty Volume 3 palette. Now I gotta be honest, I kind of forgot about this palette until recently when Tati herself made a return to the YouTube platform, which I am so happy about. I have missed her content so much. I'm so excited to see that she is doing well for the most part, and I just hope things get better and better for her. But I thought it would be a fun idea to go into the Tati Beauty palette. Holy crap, you guys. My palette is kind of a mess. I'm thinking purpley vibes today since we have, you know, pinkiness going on. So I kind of want to play with these like berry tones, but we'll see what happens. So yeah, we're gonna dive on into this palette. First, I'm gonna take the E24, which is a large blending brush, and I'm going to set my eyes with the shade Aura here, which is a really pretty matte cream color. I'm just gonna use this to kind of set the lids. I didn't prime them, but I do have excess concealer and foundation on my eyelids, so this will just help give us a nice smooth base. Next, I'm taking the E23, which is another blending brush, just a little bit smaller than the E24, and I think we're just gonna go right in with this shade here, which is called Poet. This is the matte version of Poet. I'm gonna tap into this. I kind of forgot how this formula is, so we'll see how this goes. I'm gonna start by tapping that shade in my outer corner. I am gonna bring it into the crease, but at first I'm just gonna kind of place the shadow where I want it, and then we will worry about blending everything. I am just taking that same brush and blending now. It's actually blending pretty easily. At first I was a little worried that it was gonna be kind of hard or tough to blend, but it actually is blending out really nicely. I feel like I could just keep blending and blending and blending and the eyeshadow would just keep going up. So I'm gonna stop there, and I am gonna take a clean brush in a little bit and kind of buff out that edge to smooth it out a little bit. But I think if I keep using this brush, it's just gonna keep expanding the product since it is such a blendable shade. I'm gonna go back into the shade Aura with the E24 and just kind of buff out these edges to soften them up and just kind of smooth them out because they look a little crazy right now. I might have to do this at the end just to kind of be the finishing touch because we're going to be doing more blending, but this does seem to be working really well. Now I'm going to go in with the E25, which is a flat shader brush. I love this brush so much, and I'm trying to decide between going in with the sequin or the metallic formula of the shade Poet. I'm definitely going to go in with the glitter at the end, so maybe I should let's try the metallic version. Why not? So I'm just gonna take this metallic shade and kind of focus it on the center of my lid. I'm gonna put the glitter on like the inner portion of my lid. So this is gonna be kind of like the bridge between the matte outer corner and the glitter inner corner. Now I'm gonna go back into the matte version of Poet and just kind of build up the pigmentation right in that outer corner. I'm just gonna take my F22 to dust off that fallout that I have. It's brushing away really easily, but I definitely did get a little bit of fallout with the metallic formula. I'm gonna go back into the matte formula, and I'm using the E26, which is this itty bitty little pencil brush, and I'm going to take that matte shade and kind of focus it on the outer portion of my lower lash line. This is perfect because it's very small and precise, and you can do really detailed work, so you can stay close to that lower lash line if you want, which is what I'm doing. So I'm just applying it, literally drawing it on like a pencil, hence the name pencil brush. Now I'm just gonna go ahead and take my finger and go into the glitter formula of Poet, and I'm going to apply this to my lid. I am so excited. It's been so long since I have used glitter. Oh my god. It's so pretty. I miss glitter. I really need to start using my With Love Cosmetics glitters more. I've kind of like slacked off, and it makes me sad because it wasn't intentional. I just kind of like, I don't know, I feel like I stopped wearing lashes a lot, so then I kind of stopped doing super intense eye looks with like a ton of glitter. But you definitely don't need lashes to wear glitter on your lids. Now I'm going to take this angled brush here. This is the E27. You can use this for eyeliner, you can use it for brows, whatever you want, but I'm going to take a little bit of the matte shade of Memory, which is the black in the palette, and I'm just going to lightly tap into that and just kind of smudge this along my lash line just to kind of add a little bit of depth. I'm not doing a wing or anything like that, but you could use this for like a gel potted eyeliner. I just kind of want to add a little bit of extra depth to my lash line since this is a little bit more of an intense eye look. So you can see the difference. It just kind of defines the lash line a little bit more, and it will make a huge difference when you apply mascara. So I'm going to go ahead and do the other eye, and I will be right back. And finally for the eyes, I'm going to go in with my E22, which is a precise blending brush. You can use this to blend out eyeshadows if you're using multiple colors, or if you are like me and you love a good inner corner highlight, that is my favorite way to use this. So I'm going to go into the metallic shade of Aura, which is this really pretty bright champagne-ish sparkly color, and I'm going to get that on the E22 and just tap that right there. You can just kind of tap, 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 and boom, it looks beautiful. It's like the perfect little shape and size for that area. And I also will just take this same brush and apply a little bit of highlight to my brow bone as well. It's probably like not like the ideal shape for a brow bone, but like it works for me, and I'm lazy and I just like to use the same brush for both. So yeah, that's my little trick with that. For highlighter, I am going in with the L'Oreal Los Angeles Glazed Lit Kit. I love this base palette so much. This is one of my favorite highlighter formulas of all time. It is so beautiful. You have 4 different shades in this palette. These 2 are my personal favorites. I think I'm going to go in with Glow Gal today. But they also have the Bronze palette, which is for deeper skin tones, but it's practically identical, similar packaging, and comes with 4 different shades. So yeah, I freaking love this highlighter. I am going in with the F25, which is my favorite highlighter brush of all time. It's so perfect. It's the perfect size, the perfect shape, the perfect consistency, the perfect everything. I love using this to apply my cheekbone highlighter. Like, look at that. Holy crap. Such a beautiful highlighter, such a perfect brush. I also will lightly take that right above the like highest point of my brow, and then can't forget the nose. I love highlighter so much, and I will even take my powder brush and just kind of like blend over everything, so my highlighter, blush, and bronzer, just to kind of make it look nice and blended together. It just kind of adds a little bit of a finishing touch and makes it look a little bit more natural. So I highly recommend this palette. It is so good. And for lips, we have these L'Oreal Los Angeles liquid lipsticks. I'm not sure what shade I'm gonna go in with yet. I'm gonna swatch them and then decide. I don't really know what shade to go in with. So we're gonna try Nakey Nakey and see how that looks. I don't know if this is gonna be too nude. Maybe a little bit too nude for this eye look. Let's try Pouty and Nice. This one's a little bit more like purpley. Okay, I think I like this shade. Well, I like the shade, but I'm saying I think I like it with the eye look. I am gonna go in with a gloss. This one is from Glamlight actually, but it's in collaboration with Michaela. I just did a review on this collection, and this is the like pinky nude kind of color. I thought this would look really pretty on top of this liquid lip, and then maybe it won't make it like as intense, both the eyes and the lips. So let's see how this looks. Okay, definitely love that combo. The gloss on top of the liquid lipstick looks phenomenal. Now to finish things off, I'm gonna go ahead and put some mascara on, and for mascara, unfortunately, I don't have an influencer brand mascara, so I'm just gonna go in with this Benefit one. This is the They're Real Magnet Mascara. Alright, you guys, so here's the finished look. I absolutely love the way that it turned out. I've been having so much fun recently playing with a little bit more color as opposed to just like very neutral eye looks. I kind of fell into a rut of wearing like the same eye look every single day just because I really liked, you know, the natural look. But I am definitely enjoying playing with a little bit more color, a little bit more like creativeness. So I think the look turned out really cute. I ended up using my entire brush set in today's video aside from one brush, the E21. This is another blending brush, which of course always comes in handy. I just kind of kept it pretty simple when it came to the eyes as far as like color variation, so I didn't need to use 3 blending brushes for today's look, but sometimes I do. Sometimes I use more than 3, so this is definitely a fantastic brush. But other than that, I used every single brush, face and eye brush. I used my sponge, of course, which those are my favorite sponges. They are so soft. They grow when you get them wet, and they're just fantastic. Like, they're super squishy, but not too squishy. Perfect consistency. They're so cute. They're pink. I die. I love them so much. So, yeah, that was today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, please don't forget to subscribe and give this video a thumbs up. Don't forget to check out my bling brushes restock tomorrow at 12 p.m. Eastern. All of the info will be down below in the description box, and don't forget to use code PAIGE for 10% off. I love you guys so much. I hope you all have a wonderful day, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.